All right, welcome to language. All right, we're going to be on page 181. And today what we're going to be covering is taking all we know about the parts of speech and putting it together. You have to be able to find the parts of speech in a sentence. Now, I talked about a long time ago how sometimes words don't always do the same job. Like the word iron. We could be talking about the iron, the thing we put on our clothes to make them straight, or we could be talking about iron material. So that would be describing the type of material. So it could be a noun or it could be a verb. We're talking about the word snow. We could say, oh, look at the snow, as in look at the stuff over there. Or, did it snow last night? Which means it fell from the sky. That's a verb. So we need to know how to do that. So this should already be in your notebook, or your folder, I should say. And it's how to go through a sentence and be able to pick out the parts of speech. So let's go ahead and look at it one more time though. So the first thing we're going to look for is the verb. Okay, after we find the verb, which is what's being done in the sentence, or stated being or helping, you're going to look for the subject. The subject is going to be a noun. After you find that noun, you're going to find all the other nouns in the sentence. Once we find that, we're going to look for any pronouns. Pronouns are he, she, we, they, them, all of those that we've learned. Then we're going to look for adjectives. In order to find adjectives, we have to go back to our nouns and answer the adjective questions. Which one, what kind, how many, how much, or whose. Okay? Sorry, my one row down here got kind of erased. All right, this is real, people. This is real. All right, I have to fix things as we go. All right, so make sure that you write this down in your folder if it's not already there. I'm pretty sure we should already have it there, but if you don't, write it down because you're probably going to need this as you go through the worksheets today. Okay, so I'm going to keep this close by because I'm probably going to need it. So let's go ahead and now look at the first few sentences of Think A. Okay, in your book, the words are written in black, bold letters. Well, I couldn't do that on the whiteboard, so what I did is I wrote them in red, okay? So the first sentence says, green is my favorite color. We're gonna go through this process to figure out what part of speech the word green is. So green is my favorite color. So let's go ahead and first start by labeling. Now to label, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna put it small, okay? Put it small. And then when we get to the correct label for the word, we're gonna stop, okay? So what is the verb in this sentence? You should have said is. So that's the first step. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you can see it better. There you go. Let's look now for the next part, which is the subject. What is? Green is. So that must be the subject of the sentence. But then we know that that means that that is a noun. So green is the noun, and is a noun in this sentence. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one says, my green crayon is used often. Okay, so let's start with the verb. What's the verb in the sentence? Is used, okay? So we have a verb phrase, is used. What is used? Now some of you, I think, just said green crayon. No, the crayon is used. So crayon is our subject, but we know that that means that it's a noun. Okay, a noun. Are there any other nouns in this sentence? Nope, that's it. Are there any pronouns in this sentence? Oh, guess what? I think there might be, but I'm not sure because this is a possessive pronoun. Possessive pronouns sometimes act as adjectives. So I'm going to put pronoun, but I'm going to put a question mark because it might not be. That's why we have pencils so we can erase. So now we're going to go looking for adjectives. Okay? So let's look at the adjectives. So we're going to ask the questions first of the word crayon. Okay, because that's our only noun. Which crayon? No. What kind of crayon? A green crayon. Now, I'm going to keep going with my adjective questions because I want to find out if this pronoun is a pronoun or if it's acting like an adjective right now. How many crayons? No. How much crayon? No. Whose crayon? My crayon. So this is not a pronoun. This is an adjective. Okay? Again, I know we're only looking for the ones in bold, but in order to find the ones in bold or on red on my whiteboard, you have to be able to do the whole sentence. So we're going to continue on with a couple more. Okay? The next one says, please open the door. Okay, so what is the verb of the sentence? What's the first thing we're going to do? The verb. Open. Very good. Open is our verb. Well, guess what? That happens to be the word in bold, so we can go ahead and stop. Okay? The next one says, as far as we can see, we're open fields. As far as we can see, we're open fields. Let's see the sentence. Okay? Well, let's look at that. What is the verb first? You should have said, could see. That's our verb. The next thing says, could see. What could see? Who could see? Who could see? We could see. Now, again, this is a subject. But guess what? In this subject, it's not a noun. It's a, who knows? Pronoun. Oh my goodness, that means we need to adjust our list. We're going to add to our list that our subject's not only just a noun, but sometimes, it's going to be a, Stephanie can't write right now, pronoun. Our subject could sometimes be a pronoun. So write that down, add that to your folder. Okay, so we have a pronoun as our subject. We could see, and that's our, and then we could see. So subject and verb. We could see. What's next? We already did pronouns. Are there any other pronouns in the sentence? No. Are there any nouns still in the sentence? Hopefully you said fields. Okay, fields. Now we're going to go to looking for adjectives. So let's look for adjectives. We're going to start with the noun, which is fields. Field. Questions are, which one? Which field? No. What kind of field? An open field. Oh my goodness, this must be an adjective. Okay, an open field, and that's an adjective, right? So we're going to stop there because we're done. The next one says, the party was to be held out in the open. Okay, in the open. So let's look at this one. What's our verb? Yep, you should have said was. Subject, what was? Party. Very good. Again, that's our subject, but we also know that it's a noun. Are there any other nouns in this sentence? Let's look. You know what? I think there is. I told you about some words that may help us find nouns a long time ago. It's the words the and the word a. But I have two thes in this sentence. The tells us that a noun is coming. So for instance, in this one we said the party. So we knew the noun was coming, party. This one says the open. So what should be coming? A noun. So yes, this is a noun. Okay? All right, looking good so far. Let's look at the next sentence. On this sentence, it says, the loud sound frightened the squirrels. Okay, the loud sound frightened the squirrels. Well, let's figure it out. What is the verb? Frightened. Very good. What's the subject? What frightened? Sound. Very good. Again, this is the subject, but we also know it's a noun. Excellent job. The next one says, sound the I spelled that wrong. Sound the bell. I put the wrong thing. This is Tiffany. These are the real people. This is real people. I make mistakes just like you do. Oh, come on now. Sound the bell loudly. Okay, sound the bell loudly. So let's look at this real fast. What's the verb? Well, wait, Mrs. Tiffany, is that an imperative sentence? Yes, this is an imperative sentence. So if this is an imperative sentence, they're telling us to do something. So what's our verb? Very good. Sound. What that means in this sentence, sound, is to like go turn the alarm on, go hit the alarm, go start the alarm, okay? Or the bell. So that's the verb. Are we done? We're done. But who can raise their hand at home and tell me what the subject of this sentence is, if it's an imperative sentence? Hopefully you raised your hand and said that it is an understood you. Understood you. Next one, it says exercise helps you have a sound body. Let's figure this out. What's our verb? You should say helps. What's our subject? Exercise. Again, that's now a noun. Are there any other nouns in the sentence? Body. Are there any pronouns in this sentence? You. Good. So far, so good. Are there any adjectives? I guess we'll have to try to figure that out. So, we're going to go to body. Body. Which body? What kind of body? Sound body. So that's an adjective. Okay? All right. Hopefully that will help you with going through the process for your language for today. All right, if you guys go to your page, you're going to see Think A. You're going to go ahead and finish the rest of Think A on your own. And then Think B, you can do on just a regular sheet of paper, or if you don't have any extra paper at your house, go ahead and you can do it in your language folder. That's fine too, okay? The last section on page 181 is Think C. And in Think C, you're going to go ahead and do exactly what I did. You're going to label, but once you find your adjectives, you need to do your arrows. The adjective goes to the noun that it's describing, okay? So if I was doing it, for instance, for, let me see, green, and my green crayon, my arrows would go from green to crayon, my to crayon. Okay, so make sure you're doing your arrows. You also have page 182 today. On page 182, oh, I changed mine. Okay.